How do you see the main event going out and what do you think are the keys to success?
I believe it's gonna be. Uh, I'm leaning towards Makhachev, but it's like this. I believe he'll win in the like later rounds or a decision. And if Armand wins though, it'll be earlier on. So I think that's how the fight's gonna
Mm.
go. So I think if Armand can pull it off early, that's gonna be his win. If not, it's gonna be a longer night, and I think Makhachev will win.
I watched their first fight back today actually, and it's such an interesting fight because for such the longest time that was the seen as the fight that the first guy to kind of push Islam, and for such when he has that such a dominant streak, probably up until the first Volkanovski fight, that was seen as the fight that had given him a real test. Is there anything that you feel like Arman can take from that first fight and bring into this one as a competitive advantage?
Um, so long ago. I think if you look at Armand's mentality in that fight, that's the right mentality. Take the fight to him, right? I think that's what he should do. So I think that he could take that from that fight is like, hey, when I took the fight to him, I won. Like he won I want to say people, was it the first round he won,
First round.
according to the judges? He went out there and he went hard, he went after him the first round. So I think that's something he could do.
When you look at Islam as a champion, and I don't ask this question based upon your skill set or anyone's specific skill set. What would you feel like are the keys to implement for a game plan to have success against his style? Like, what would you need to do generally to defeat that style?
You, I think the most important thing starting out when you fight Makhachev, you have to meet his feints. He does a lot of feints, a lot of fakes, and if you don't meet those, he's going to be able to push you back, and he's going to be able to put pressure on you just with that. And if you can't meet that, then it's kind of a downhill fight,
Mm.
or an uphill fight. It's for you. And so but if you can start to meet those, you could start to see his reactions, what he wants to do. And ultimately to be able to beat him, you have to be very well rounded. Um and I would say specialize in striking, because if you specialize in grappling, he specializes in grappling, it's going to cancel out. But
Mm.
if you're good enough to grapple, like you have good grappling, but then you specialize in striking, I think you could put more pressure on him.
100%. There is a certain featherweight champion by the name of Ilia Topuria who is threatening a move up to the 155-pound division. How do you think he would fare in your weight class?
I think he would do well.
Mm.
Do I think he'd be champion? It's hard to tell. There's a lot of good guys at 155, and he would be giving up size now.
Mm.
But I would love to see him at 55. To be honest with you, I got no problem with him coming to 55. One more guy for us to compete with.
I thought it was interesting as well, rather than calling out the champion, he called out Charles Oliveira for his lightweight debut. Did you like that? Him going for a clear test in the lightweight division before going for that, trying to get that title
Yeah,
shot?
I mean, it's a good way because yeah, I'm surprised he didn't ask for Makhachev, because he might be able to get it. I mean, Volkanovski got it, so maybe he
Mm.
can get it too. But yeah, I don't know. I would have Charles, but then again, Charles is he's such a big name, bro. He's such a
Mm.
legend in our sport, so it's not a bad call out at all.
Yeah, I agree. So, turning the conversation back to you for my last couple of questions. Obviously, the focus is UFC 311 on January 18th. Assuming we get the victory or you get the victory January 18th, what of the rest of the goals for 2025? Where would you like to be, say, this time next year?
I just want to be a little bit more active. I'd like to get one or two more fights, and then you know, just keep that momentum going. So I don't really have a particular name or anything like that, but I would really like to stay active. And I think if I'm active enough, can make something happen.
So, turning the conversation back to the actual fight at hand, you can be as brief or as detailed as you like with this question. But for one final question, give me a walkthrough of what the perfect fight day on January 18 looks like as you go from morning to night. Talk me through the perfect day.
I think a perfect fight for me would be able to kind of show all my skills
Mm.
and show that I'm better in basically in every aspect. If I can do that, it's a good reminder, not just to Moicano, but the entire division in the world, that what I'm capable of. And we haven't been able to see it the last couple of fights, but I have that ability.
You say about a reminder to the world. Do you feel like people have forgotten about you or maybe not shown you the respect that you deserve?
it's not a respect thing, but as far as Ferran, yeah, our sport
Mm,
moves fast. Like,
mm.
people will forget pretty quickly, like what you did. So I'd like to remind them, like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still a title contender, and I plan on being a champion. Like, nothing's changed for me.
I love it. Well, Beneil, thank you so much for your time as always. I appreciate you doing this on Christmas week. I'm sure you've got a lot to do, especially with the kids. So I hope that you have a great Christmas and an even better rest of the camp, and best of luck for the next fight.
Appreciate it, brother. You take care.